let's go to the club. And then, you know, you have those friends who kind of come in between a good relationship otherwise, you know, and destroy it. So you really got to have a good group of friends, and you got to be on the same page as, you know, the person you're in a relationship with, because if not, it's just not going to work. I always tell people I've been in every single relationship you can name. I've been in every kind of relationship. I've had the crazy girl. I had the stalker. I had a relationship that I thought was good. I had a relationship that was bad from the start, but, you know, the sex was great. And I had all kinds of crazy, weirdo relationships, you know, but for me, like, you know, my teenage years and young adult years, I was in the military. So it's like almost impossible for you to keep a stable relationship when you're young and in the military, because one, you know, girls that's your age that you messing with, they're not really trying to be in a committed relationship when you're out to sea for 6 months, you know, to 9 months, and they just at home and they just supposed to, you know, not do nothing, especially at their age. So it's hard to keep a faithful woman at their age. You know, I have 2 kids. You know, my daughter's mom is African from Liberia, and my son mom she's black from, you know, from the hood. So it's just sometimes stuff happen to where you might want to have a serious relationship, but the circumstances in your life don't allow that to happen. And, you know, that was the case with me and the case with a lot of people in the military. I know you can't hold on to relationships when you're away. So I always tell people, if you find somebody and y'all around each other and get to be around each other all the time, you know, hold on to that. That's something, especially if it works, that's something that's worth keeping. And the problem is with so many people living in this culture and driven by it and living by, you know, this whole ghetto politics, it's hard to find a girl that you really want to hold on to that doesn't subscribe to this ghetto bullshit, I should say. So the black relationship is attacked, you know, every day, 24/7, and it takes real conscious people, 2 conscious people. I think you can only really be conscious black people and have a successful relationship today. I mean, anybody who really subscribes to this culture is going to fall victim to it, except for those who are really mindful of it. You know, not everybody has bad relationships, you know, black people in the hood. Not everybody. I know some black people that have been together for years and they still live in poverty, but they make it work somehow. You know, they working together. And that's just something like we don't see a lot, you know, a woman accepting a man for what he has at that moment and what he could become, instead of, you know, everything that they want. You know, some people come into a relationship and they selfish from the start. You know, you work where, you doing what? I don't want you. You know, not even knowing the ambitions and goals of that man. You know, what he's trying to do, what he want to become, and everything he's working towards to be there. You know, as a man in a relationship, we take a lot of slack. Men get it the worst because we're providers. We got to provide. Not just that, it's you got to at the same time be a man, and you gotta duck the cops. You gotta survive out here from people who might be trying to rob you, people who hate on you. It's tough. It's tough. You know, to where, you know, some women can luck up and might find that guy with a bunch of money and be set, you know, if that guy just wants her. For men, it's a little bit hard. There's a lot we have to put up with and a lot we got to duck, because then you got to also watch out for women who may be completely gorgeous, who might just want your money. So, you know, it's so many, you know, pitfalls, there's so many challenges that we face, which is why some men just come into these relationships with, you know, the eyes wide open, or one train of thought. Either I'm going to hit or I'm not. If she ain't trying to let me hit, I'm out. You know, keep it moving. And it's because of, you know, people past and what people have gone through in relationships, and a lot of people bring those baggages into new relationships, and it hurts the relationship. Everybody has probably been with a person who left a relationship that, you know, boyfriend or girlfriend was cheating a lot. So they really on your top and really paranoid about what you're doing. You know, who texting you, who calling you at this time, you know, who DM'd you, you know, as soon as your phone make a sound, who is that? You know, we go through that, and you got to understand, All this stuff is just based off of this culture that, if somebody calling home at this time, he probably planning. You could be spending every single day with your girl. She know where you at. You know where she at. She call you all the time. Y'all together all the time. Who is that? Every time. It's like, what the hell with you 24/7? You got to, password to my Instagram and Facebook, everything. Why would you even think that I'm doing something wrong when you have access to everything? When you know where I'm at, I'm not doing nothing. But it's still something, that pops up in their head that makes them think that they are not secure, in their relationship and that they could possibly lose you. And this is another thing that puts a strain on a relationship because of the culture that we live in. And not just that, what girls see from their friends and what happened in their friends' relationships. Some people got girlfriends where they know they seem to have everything together, and then all of a sudden she finds out that, this dude was cheating and he got a baby with some other girl or what have you. And we know all the stories that happen. All of it. Everything that we see, all the problems that we see, when you really examine it, it all stems from the culture. It all goes back to some form of cheating or you trying to play me or what have you. Something that this culture is making us act out. And a lot of people can't really grasp it because it's the culture, it's what you live in, it's what you're used to. And a lot of people can't see the problem because, it's entertainment. So at the end of the day, this is what you got to think about. This is what it all comes down to. And you have to really ponder this. One, you have to look at all the corporations, all the companies that spend millions of dollars, endorsing athletes. $90 million to LeBron James to wear sneakers. Think about all the sports teams that pay these black players, $100 million over, 5 years or what have you. Billions of dollars a year going into these athletes and entertainers. All this money that they are getting, meanwhile, the black community is in poverty. Just think about that. Think about how all these schools are closing and how these schools that are open need so much equipment, that need help. They need things to help these black kids learn to even, really be a good athlete or to become something successful later on. It's a fight. It's a struggle to make it to the pros, to get there. That's crazy what they go through. They go through a lot to get to the pros. And you got to be really talented and you got to have dedication. You got to have the support of a family, that got the means to back you while you try to get there. But they put billions of dollars a year, these corporations, into entertainment, just to entertain you, to keep you distracted from being successful yourself. Billions of dollars. What are they getting from it? They're making a profit. They're making money from it, of course. But what is it really doing? What is it for? What? For entertainment? What is it really doing? If they trying to help people, they trying to, do something positive, they will put their money into the communities. You see all these sports teams, they sponsor Make-A-Wish. They sponsor all these kids' foundations that help these kids and something that got to do with sports. And all this money go to all these charities. Charities, they getting, millions of dollars coming in, raking in. And all these corporations and all these sports teams are all about, well, we want to help people and I want to see kids do this and I want to see kids do that. But meanwhile, the community is still in the state that it's in. It's still crime in Chicago, it's still crime in Philly, Baltimore, New York. Crime is still crazy in all these different cities all over. Crime in Texas, crime in California. And, it's stuff that these corporations and these businesses can do to help fix that problem. But they rather, give millions of dollars to the Make-A-Wish Foundation or to some other foundation that's already getting millions of dollars from some other place, and they'd rather give $100 million to some ball player and tell him not to go back to the community and help it and to fix it. When are you going to see that this is a trap? It's just designed to keep you exactly where you at. We ain't went nowhere, people. We still in the same shit. You talking about what? It's only been like 49 years or 47 years since Dr. King was assassinated? These people still alive from that time. It's not that long ago. So it's not just about racism. It's deeper than that. It's not just about keeping the black family apart and, not united and not trusting each other. It's deeper than that. It's a lot more to it that we got to realize that, the very thing that we draw inspiration from, because a lot of people say I get inspiration from music, I get inspiration from seeing LeBron James play basketball and stuff like that, and they pursue it. Even in pursuing these things and becoming successful, what have you, you are not contributing back to the black community and helping black people. And as I said before, it's a competition. It's a competition. They're not just going to give you money. They're not just going to help you out and give you a boost in overcoming their oppression. But they'll give a boost, all these foundations. I mean, fucking the Boy Scouts. I mean, all the money that they get. I mean, so many charities that get all kinds of money from so many different places. And I never see on these game shows, I never see watching these sports games a charity for the hood, the black community. You don't see that. Not even to put a rec center or some kind of after school program or something like that. It's nothing is being done. Nothing is ever going to be done. And we keep sitting around still waiting for something to be done and not realizing it's not going to never happen. So that's basically really it. I mean, the sabotage of the black family and the black relationship really it starts with poverty. It starts with creating poverty, which is basically going to put a strain on a relationship when you introduce drugs and you introduce crime and everything like that. This music is already the weapons, the ingredients to destroy the black family. And then they have little countermeasures. They have little things in place to take advantage of the situation. So when you're trying to make money by selling drugs, boom, you booked, go to jail. Now you out of the household. Mom got to raise the kid by herself. It's not possible for her to do it. It's tough. So that already is destroying the family right there. And it's stuff that we already know. All y'all know this. A lot of people don't want to come to grips with it and really embrace it and understand it. And that's part of the problem. And we don't speak on it. We'll speak fast if it's some white people stuff. But when it comes to stuff like this, we don't speak on it. People don't want to talk up and say, yo, this stuff messing us up because it's not popular. It's corny to say stuff like this. So it's what's really contributing to our downfall. And again, it's not ever going to change. And people just keep sitting around thinking that this shit going to get better and all this and that. No, you going to get better. You're going to go out and be successful and do something personally and get away from this shit. But it's still going to be what it is here in the hood. People still going to grow up. The cycle's still going to continue. If you get out and you doing fine, that's all well and good. But everybody who's living in there, who's living under this culture, is still going to be feeling the ramifications of it and the effects of it. And it's just that simple. It's exactly what they want. Plain and simple. It's how it's going to be. Nothing is going to change it until we change it. And the control that it has on us to where people can't see it is just crazy. It just shows me how powerful that it is, and that it is this that's working. That's the problem. What else could it be? Sit back and think about it. What else is it? What's the problem? And immediately people are going to go straight to white man. White man this, white man that. Show me these white people who coming into the black community and keeping it oppressed. I told y'all before, they doing this shit from remote control. They're doing it from remote control. From your TV, from your radio. And we acting out the rest. Ain't nobody coming into the black community that's white and just destroying shit. Making us shoot each other and stuff like that and sell drugs. It's not happening. It's us. But it's them that's putting this music out, this government system, these people, these bankers, these fucking corporations that's backing all this stuff. So we keep pointing our finger at the wrong enemy instead of pointing it at the people who are really behind the problems in the black community. And I'm just tired of seeing so many people stand up and just keep talking about the problems in the black community. And you got to bring money and we need money for this. And don't get me wrong, they right. They right. Definitely should put money in the black community just like they put money in the white community. It's only fair because we pay taxes. We spend more money than anybody. So some of that money should come back. That's one thing. But they're not going to do that. It's not going to happen. And it's like clearly not going to happen. Like I said, that's too much like right. They ain't going to do the right thing if it's going to benefit us. I mean, if they do that, if they actually started, putting money into the black community and helping the black community out, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? We are going to get into a position eventually to open our own businesses and challenge their wealth. Because if we as black people had the same kind of product as them, as I said before, and we putting it out in our community going to buy. We're going to support each other because, one, it's just right there. People go to the store because of convenience. That's why they call it the convenience store. It's right there. So if that store right there and it's yours, it's this black guy store and everything right, then of course, people are going to go in, they're going to shop, they're going to spend their money. It seems like, the Dominicans figured that out. The Asians, the Koreans, Chinese people figured that out. White people, of course, been figured that out. We're the only people who ain't figured that out yet. Because our goal is to be, more so an entertainer, a rapper, dancer, or what have you, than to be a successful business owner. Because that's corny. Gotta go to school and all that shit. People don't want to do that. It's too much work. And this is the mindset, that we have. And it's not everybody. I'm just saying, talking about the hood. Not everybody. It's not everybody in the hood. Some people want to get out of there, excuse me. It's not everybody. And it's messed up that, a lot of people hurt themselves. Because a lot of people who do want to get out, they sabotage themselves by, being a part of all this stuff. And it's really because a lot of people don't know. A lot of people don't get it. A lot of people just think it's music and think the culture is what it is. It's just how it's supposed to be. And this is just how we are, when really they made us this way. And I always say that. Hip-hop is not us. This is not who we are. It's who they made us to be. So if you have control of the music, we don't control it. If you have control of what's being put out, then you put out what you want to put out. So you see, we went from good music, positive music, uplifting music, the singers back in the day singing about keeping your woman and, loving the black woman and this and that, begging all the time, begging a black woman. You don't see that no more. She's a hoe now. She's a bitch. She's a thot. She ain't, I ain't begging her no more. No more Keith Sweat. So, no more Boys to Men songs. Down on my knees, on bended knee, all those songs. Positive shit, it's gone. We got to deal with the negativity. And you can see this is what they clearly putting out. And this is them putting it out. It's not us. So it's almost like a state of entrapment. I don't want to say entrapment. I just want to say, what else we got? What else you going to do? You say to this brother, if you put this kind of music out, I'll give you this money. And what else you going to do? You're not going to get it from nowhere else. 2-time felon, can't get no job, but he can rap. He sound good on the mic. He'll go check for a couple million for you to go do these songs, degrading women. What you think he gonna pick? And that's the trap. That's the problem. Just this is what's been going on. So we see it, and it's basically how they sabotage the black relationship and the black family, and as I said, begin with poverty, and now the culture. All of it is under their control. It could have been fixed decades ago, but they won't fix it. It will stay this way until we fix it ourselves. But in order to do that, we got to first realize that it's the problem. It is the problem. It's nothing else you can point to that I can think of. It's nothing else you can point to as being a problem. It's something that they put out that's in us that we got to look in the mirror and find it and see it and accept it as being a problem and get rid of it. And again, a lot of people are not going to be able to do that because they find it entertaining. It's entertaining. So it is what it is. But I can get into a whole bunch of other little personal shit on why the black family is not working out, why the black relationship not working out, But that's like stupid stuff. It's back and forth little shit. Excuse me. Little fights that we get into that it's really driven by the culture. Oh, you talking to her, who that in your inbox? Oh, so you cheating. Oh, who this nigga right here who always liking your pictures? So you cheating. All that little dumb shit that we get into this because of social media and because of the culture I mean, I can get into all that, but we know what that is. It's the culture. It is what it is. But thank you guys for watching. See you guys next video. New DVD out. If it's not out now, it'll be out later. And more videos to come. So thank you guys for watching. See you next video.